Think of how well he'll do in those delicate diplomatic.
Boy, this guy really can do a song about anything. A song about Dennis Kucinich, right?
Wow.
Dennis Kucinich married a supermodel, and that's good enough for me.
I was talking to Dennis Maniloff about Browns, so I got a little wrapped up out there. When I was trying to figure out what this song was about, it would have taken me a while to get to Dennis Kucinich.
Dennis Kucinich married a supermodel, and that's good enough for me. He can be my president if that's what it wants to be.
I mean, his wife is gorgeous, by the way. She's British or Irish or something like that. When we used to be out at Oak Tree, and Kucinich would come in every so often to do stuff on TAM, and I introduced myself to him one time, and his wife was kind of behind him, and he's like 5'2".
Mm-hmm.
And
I would see him at the Y in Lakewood.
Oh, there you go.
Shooting hoops.
Yeah. And smart dude, very nice, but that wife of his is just gorgeous. Elizabeth Kucinich. He's like 40 years older than her. I mean, he's got to be almost 80. She's in her mid-40s. They've been married for a long time now, probably 20 years. But she's just foxy and very accomplished. I mean, she's like in her own right, but she's tall and lithe, and she's got red hair, and just a striking woman. But Dennis Kucinich pops up again in this whole Browns situation, saying that the city of Cleveland might be filing a lawsuit against the Haslams over this purported move out to Brookpark.
Oh, I hate to hear it.
Saying that they intend to enforce the Art Modell law that gives cities a say in sports teams, using taxpayer money to fund stadiums. Now, the Haslams say they're not going to use taxpayer money for this new thing out in Brookpark. I don't think anybody believes that. But I don't know how much luck you're going to have either trying to sue them to keep the... I'd be lying if I said I understood the nuances of this whole thing. But the headlines all over the place that Cleveland possibly filing a lawsuit. The Art Modell law, I have to assume, is in response to him taking the team out of town completely in the mid-'90s.
Correct.
So Dennis Kucinich, back in, he was part of somebody's campaign, one of these spoiler candidates. I don't know who he put his, I was going to say sizable weight behind. I mean, the guy's probably $120 soaking wet. But Dennis Kucinich getting in there and saying you should really look at your legal options in this. The law says no professional team owner can leave a taxpayer-supported stadium without first signing an agreement with the host city. They have to provide at least 6 months' notice of their intent to leave. Again, these are great things in theory. This is how these laws like this get drafted. I mean, this was a direct response to Art Modell taking the Browns out and taking them to Baltimore and leaving the city flat-footed. So in response to that, they go, we don't ever want this to happen again. Let's draft this law. I don't know how long it took them to do that. I don't know if it was hastily drafted. But enacting it is a whole other thing when you're talking about a billion-dollar industry. Because it essentially gives the city like the right of first refusal. You know, if you're a person, and let's say you're under some kind of contract with your company, or they get the right of first refusal. They say you have to come to us first. So you get a great offer from some other company. We get the right of first refusal, which means if we can match what they're offering you, you have to stay here or do better than. And a lot of places don't do that. They go, no, it's fine. Go ahead. Godspeed. But the city's law director says city ordinances require the city to enforce the Modell law. And so that's what they're going to do. Because they haven't finished paying for the renovations on Brown Stadium. But this is going to get really contentious. And that's where the fun part is going to be. Because I don't even think they've signed anything for Brookpark. I mean, they've got the artist's rendering of what it's going to look like.
But didn't they already purchase the
I don't
land?
think they did.
Oh,
I
really?
was reading something that they don't have, unless I'm misinformed, and I could very well be. But I was reading, well, I mean, not actively. I'm just saying, I was reading something that was like, for the people who still think this is some kind of bargaining chip, it sounded like it was a done deal because they made an announcement. But this kind of brinkmanship can go quite far with nothing really being etched in stone. So I don't know if it's still a pissing match but I was reading something, they're like, they don't have anything in writing saying that the team is going to post up in Brookpark. So I don't know. I mean, the city of Cleveland must figure they have some legal standing to do this. Of course, the people who are on the side of the Haslams are like, you're going to get a lot more value to the city of Cleveland if you have a year-round space out there in Brookpark. And there's an argument to be made for that, too. You kind of have to remove the money part of it's one thing. A lot of people approach these things emotionally. That's how the fans approach it. They go, well, it's not going to be the Cleveland Browns. It's up the street, homeboy. I mean, going to the suburbs does not make it not the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland, to my mind, as somebody who's not from here, Cleveland is the entire metro area.
Right. Everybody from Brookpark says they're from Cleveland. So.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like when you're talking about it, and there's a lot of teams that play outside the city.
Most teams play outside,
I mean, the New York Giants and the New York Jets play in New Jersey. Yeah. So
yeah.
It's a stupid semantic argument. I get it. I would like the team to be downtown. I
understand that too. I get it.
But my main
there's
thing
kind of
is,
more oomph to it.
My main thing is if this leads to the Haslam selling the team, that'd be amazing. Manifesting it. Manifest with me, Alan. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Manifest.
Is that the consensus of a lot of people? Is there like that would be the move?
No, I don't think anybody's thinking. I mean,
okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that want them to sell the team. I don't think there's anyone that thinks that will come from this.
Okay.
But that's just, but that's why you got to manifest.
Yeah. Manifest it.
Yeah.
Put it into the universe.
And I understand I could be manifesting things to end world hunger, to end wars, but I really, really want the Haslams to sell the team.
Well, two things. You can do both. Is there a minimum? Is there a maximum amount of manifesting for people who believe in that? Sounds to me like, I mean, if it's all made up, so you can do whatever you want to with it.
It's not made up, Alan. That's the thing. Is it's really, it's not made up. Because when I bring up things like that, like, the people that are having a really hard life and they didn't manifest, I guess that's not where you can manifest.
That's why they're having a tough life. Because
no. It doesn't count for them or something. I can't.
Wait, what?
I've still never gotten.
I don't know the rules of manifestation.
I'm still not really clear on them because, like, if I was like a homeless person,
yeah,
I'd imagine I'd be manifesting a better life for myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they don't.
Oh, because if they were, they'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roof over their head.
Mm-hmm.
Hot meal.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like you have to have a certain level of comfort in your life for manifestations to work for you, or you have to give yourself over to some higher power. I don't know. So right now I'm just manifesting that the Haslams will sell the team.
Would it be a good idea to maybe manifest some bootstraps for them to pull themselves up by? Is that what you're talking about? Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Wish Mary was here.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, what's going on, Alan?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I was calling in about the Browns buying stuff. I could be wrong, and I'd be stupid, too. I should have looked it up while I was on hold. But I'm almost
That's not what we're here to do, bud. We're not here to be right or wrong or whatever. We're here to say things recklessly over the airwaves.
That's right.
So go for it.
And let the chips fall where they may, Phil.
We do it all the time. Yeah. We want you to have the same energy that we have, Phil.
All right. Well, yeah. So I'm pretty sure I heard that they bought a couple of properties along Front Street, which is like pretty much adjacent to their training center. They bought a church, tore it down already, and they have already rebuilt the church somewhere else. So I'm pretty sure that they're getting a bunch of little parcels up all along the training center, and that's only like a mile or two away from the IF.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
So-
I know that they do have some land, but I mean, when you look at that rendering of what the square acreage of this thing is going to be, I don't know that they have all of that. And so to me, I couldn't tell if it was a matter of them going, "See, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We bought this." I don't know that, but you could be right. They could. I don't know.
And I have been past the old Ford plant the past couple of weeks, and there's still a for sale sign up. So you know how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, this won't
That's
even
all I got, guys.
I like that. Thank you, Phil. I like that there's a for sale sign on the old Ford plant. Hey, anybody, you guys going to do an open house or something? Can I walk through and can I flip like a big switch and get the line going again? Or you're walking around and you're knocking on columns? This place got some good bones. What's the monthly on this? Who gets the commission on this place?
What are the closing costs?
Yeah, closing costs on the old Ford plant. Shoot some of that property manager porno in here, maybe. Hey, Ryan.
I do like that.
Yes, sir.
What do I have to do to get you into this apartment today? Into this old Ford plant today? It'll be 36 monthly payments of $4 million, and it's all just sign right here. Go ahead, Ryan.
It is super easy. We just need to hire the county prosecutor's attorneys to bring an action against eminent domain. And this used to be Cleveland's territory. Bring it back Cleveland's territory. It's that simple. We pay modest sum.
Wait, you're
what
saying
the land's worth.
You're saying turn Brookpark back into Cleveland territory?
Well, if we do that, then there is zero objection left. There's literally nothing else they can say.
Yeah.
It's done at that point.
All right.
Okay.
And
yes.
well, and as far as Ohio eminent domain goes, there's not a lot of objections left to Ohio eminent domain. There was this case down in Cincinnati where the Ohio Supreme Court went way overboard in favor of eminent domain and transformed this dilapidated property into this amazing property in the middle of I-71
right.
down there in
Call them
Cincinnati.
the Browns. They're not dilapidated property.
The Cleveland dilapidated properties are taking on the Chicago Bears this Sunday.
But from a legal standpoint, there remains few objections left to eminent domain. So if someone jumps in and says eminent domain, there's not a whole lot left saying no.
Say eminent domain again.
Well, listen, these are all things that I'm sure are going to get thrown around in the conversation.
This is my favorite part of sports talk. Is
thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Real estate and eminent domain and all that.
Well, it gets you out of the X's and O's.
Right,
you know what? And we can't all talk X's and O's. Let's talk eminent domain, everybody. Well, listen, it's got to be this whole thing. There's always some kind of litigation going on between the city and another party. Mm-hmm. But this is pretty meaty for our local legal minds, whether they're directly involved in this situation or not. But I think we can all agree. I'd like to know what game Dennis Kucinich was spitting on that wife of his. I mean, he's accomplished, right? In his own right. I think a lot of people kind of snicker. But the results speak for themselves. For him to catch that young woman's eye some 20 years ago and have her go, that is the guy for me. They say, why do you like her so much? Well, she never looked down on me when everybody else did. She's so tall, but she never looked down on me. She always took me seriously. I was watching a thing the other day about this woman who's 81 years old and was going to vote for the first time ever because when her husband was alive, he wouldn't let her vote.
Oh. Cool guy.
He sounds fun.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, you guys have been married for 50 years. How'd you do it? What's the secret? Oh, he rules me like a dictator.
Yeah. He just ignored women's suffrage. He didn't care about that. He had his own ideas on that. But the lady was, God, I have the clip. The lady was talking about how she was going to vote for the first time ever because her husband was gone. Where is that? Well, it's not far off.
They're probably married for 60 years.
Oh, God.
My parents are about to be 48 years.
Yeah, my parents were married 52 years when my dad died. He died in June of 22, and they would have hit 53 years that August. That's a long time.
Very long time.
To be married. To anyone. Oh, here she is. Hold on. 81-year-old woman voting for the first time because her late husband wouldn't let her. Betty Cartledge voted. A lot of early voting going on. She has already voted in this election. And they talked to her about it. This is a woman in Kentucky. No, I'm sorry, Georgia. Covington, Georgia, this woman. And said that she was very young when she got married. And she had never seen the inside of a voting booth until she was 81 years old.
Locations all across the metro and saw shorter lines today than yesterday. Georgia continues to break records during early voting with more than 431,000 ballots. If you include absentee ballots.
Newton County, where we spoke with two senior citizens, one who votes in every election and one who just voted for the very first time today.
I'm 81 today, but Sunday I'll be 82.
Betty Cartledge has seen a lot in her 81 years, but she's never seen the inside of a voting booth. Well, that was until Wednesday afternoon.
I'm in the vote for the first time in my life.
Betty, with the help of her niece Wanda, voted for the very first time at this polling location in Covington. She says she never voted before because her husband didn't think she should. Last year, her husband died. This year, Betty voted.
I was so young and everything when we got married. I didn't ever think about it. And then when I got old, I still didn't think about it. It would count.
Everybody's trying to get out here and get the vote before, the last day and big long lines. I was in and out.
Brian Harrison is...
I wonder why. So the guy goes, I don't think my wife should vote.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he doesn't.
Yeah, but it's one person. You know what I mean?
But
Like that's him exerting his influence over his wife.
He wants that control over his wife in any way he can, and it includes anything that gives her even a whiff of freedom. Like this is kind of framed as a cute story, but it's really sad.
It's a terrible story.
It's a terrible story.
Yeah.
While she had a little help leaving the polling place, she says it was an experience she clearly waited a lifetime for.
And it was neat. It was good.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Boy, that lady's got a lot of chin hair, too. She's like, it was great. They should have asked her who she voted for. I know that's a faux pas. That's considered impolite.
Yeah, but she told us how old she was and that she's going to be 82 on Sunday, so I feel
Pretty
like
much tells you.
it's all out the window.
But who knows? I mean, she might,
never,
there are a lot of old people who are progressives.
Mm-hmm.
And
she might want to vote against her husband's interest just to get back at him.
Right.
For all those years of not letting her vote.
That son of a bitch is in the ground.
Yeah.
This is how I get back at him. That's pretty neat. But again, if you've been married that long and you're 81 years old, it probably didn't even seem weird because she said it herself. She's like, I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
But still, this is not a thing of the past. There are still a lot of women who are repressed by their husbands.
Trad wives.
Trad wives. Yeah. Don't let them fool you over there on TikTok.
The SNL TikTok was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good. They've had a good couple of weeks. Michael Keaton's great. He was when he was doing the zombie eye cookies. That was a good bit.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Michael Keaton's awesome.
That the going back to the Nate Bargatze sketch, I think we talked about it, was the water slide one.
Yeah.
Well, still one of my favorites. And I guess that was Michael, who's the Longfellow? Is that his name?
Yeah, Michael Longfellow.
That's like an actual thing that happened to him when he was a lifeguard at a
Oh,
water
really?
park. Yeah.
They had a dead body on the water slide?
Yeah. Then he told it as a stand-up bit, and then they turned it into a sketch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm going to break here. Oh, God, did I give you the trip? Did I do the alter ego thing?
I don't know. I don't listen to the show.
I don't either.
I thought, is the alter ego thing at 5 or 5:30?
5.
5. Oh, let's go to the chat. Did we give away the trip?
No, I didn't because I didn't
Yeah.
have, maybe
Yeah, I'll play it.
I'll figure it out. I can't find the thing. I had the keyword earlier, and now I can't find it. I'll find it, and I'll figure it out. But I go break here. I'll have those Warrant tickets for you. I want to go see Warrant. They're on the road with Lita Ford and Nelson, and they're going to play November 15th out at MGM.